Alright, so if you're watching this video, it's because you're done with turning in your shed, you've got your sheet done, and you're ready to do your rendering. And by rendering, I mean the walkthrough. The walkthrough is found under the View tab, and you'll notice I'm in the floor of my Floor Plan tab. Now, this isn't going to be a video that you can watch and pause and play and pause and play. You're going to kind of have to watch the whole thing and pay attention to the tools that I'm using because there's a couple different tools and you have to do it in a certain process, otherwise things get messed up. So we start by doing the walkthrough. When I do a walkthrough, I normally like to start on the outside and choose, where I'm going to walk. And I'm just going to kind of walk around inside. And then once I'm done, I want to do a walk around the outside. When you're done and ready to finish your walkthrough, you hit the check mark. Now you can see I can see my walkthrough still, and here's my edit walkthrough button. When I click that, I can click through the keyframes and hit play, and it's going to give me a preview of what my walkthrough looks like. Now you'll see there's a lot of quick turns and kind of crazy stuff. We're going to have to do some modifying of our walkthrough once you've got it made. It's kind of like a rough draft, the first thing that you do that I just did. That was the first step, kind of placing it. Now what I want to do is in my controls, okay, I'm under, editing my walkthrough in the green tab up here. My controls right here, I want to change the path first. And I'm going to kind of zoom in, and just like before, if I accidentally click off and you don't see it anymore, you see we've got a new tab here in our project browser for walkthroughs. And I can right click on walkthrough 1 and hit show camera. Please do not go and make new walkthroughs just because the old walkthrough disappeared. You can click on the walkthrough, edit, and adjust the path to make it look the way you want it to look. And I'm going to adjust the path. And you want to adjust the path first because as you'll notice, when I adjust my path, these lines coming out is where the camera is going to look. And so you want to adjust the path so that as you're going through, look how the camera is moving as I'm moving the path. So you want to adjust the path first, and then what we can do is go to the active camera. Go to edit walkthrough, and we're going to click through the keyframes. I'm going to go to the first one, and I want it to be looking at my house. At the next keyframe, I want to take a look at this television here. So on these two, I want to aim at my television. And something you need to think about as you're going through and doing your walkthrough is how is your camera going to turn as you're going through. You want to have some nice smooth movements as your camera is going around. If you hit escape, you can stop it even if it's midway through. And over here, I'm going to kind of still be looking over this way, and when I come outside, I'm going to look back around like this. Now watch how that looks. Oop, sorry. We'll kind of click through. You see how my camera is not moving very fast? Okay, yeah, I did just kind of go through a door, but it's not a super huge deal. And look, I'm not even looking at my house anymore. So let's see how this looks and just do a quick run through. Okay, I'm going to come down here to the box, hit realistic, and open this up a little bit and go to edit walkthrough frame. I'm going to delete all of that, type in frame 1, and here I am at the beginning. Again, go to edit walkthrough. You're going to have to click on these buttons up here a lot and hit play. And we'll see how this looks as we go inside. Take a look at the TV. Again, see these blue dots and how we can't see much? I'm going to hit escape. Yes, we want to stop the operation. And I'm going to kind of drag it down and to the sides just a little bit. Okay, and I want to drag it more down than I do up because when you're in that tight space, you want to be able to see more of the floor. Now let's take a look and see how this looks when we get inside. Now when we get inside, I'm going to be able to see more of the floor and everything else. We're still a little bit fast on the inside, and you see how we can see the whole shed, but these are the views that I haven't modified yet. We just kind of walk around the outside in a circle, but we're not looking at the shed. We're just, we want to be able to walk around and see that. So we'll go back to our floor plan view, click Edit Walkthrough, and use the next keyframe to go through the keyframes. This pink dot is not aimed at the shed. So we'll go through next keyframe, and every keyframe adjust it so we're looking at the utility shed. Okay, now let's go to the walkthrough and see how this looks. We'll hit Edit Walkthrough, go to Slide 1, hit Enter, Edit Walkthrough again, and hit Play. Now you might decide that the walkthrough doesn't look exactly the way you want it to, and that's fine. You can always change the path or change the where the camera is going. Now I just kind of did a very basic one. Be careful when you do a lot of clicking. That's one mistake a lot of people do when they go, is they do a lot of clicks on the inside. A lot of clicks doesn't necessarily make it a smooth path. Sometimes having more clicks makes it really zigzaggy. Like if you're trying to go through some cones for a speed and agility drill in football. Okay, bouncing all over the place. That's not really going to look that good. Also, you'll notice with my camera, okay, let's do another one. I'll give you an example of what you don't want it to look like. Okay, clicking all here, I want to look here, here, here. Okay, and then I want to go around the outside. Okay, let's take a look at walkthrough 2, the one that I just did, and see how this one looks. Okay, you might think it's funny, but you should be taking this seriously and want to make a good walkthrough. Also, if you're in the walkthrough and you can't see it, click on the edge and hit Edit, and that's how you bring it back up. Okay, so this is the example of what a walkthrough will look like before you do any editing. Okay, we're kind of going around, looking at walls, looking outside, spinning around, looking at walls. You can't really tell what you're looking at, and now we're outside, and we just saw the top of a bush, and we're walking around in circles. Okay, and you can't see, oh, there we saw the edge of the roof and kind of went through it a little bit. So you'll notice in the floor plan, before I edit anything, look at what the camera is doing. See, we're in the floor plan and we can watch, and you're just kind of zigzagging around. It's really hard to see. So, what I would do is you can even do 2 loops on the inside if you want and take a look at something. So let's do a little bit better example. Again, starting on the outside. This time I'm going to kind of walk through, and we'll kind of do 2 loops on the inside, and I'll try to walk out the front door and go around like that. And when I go to edit my walkthrough, I kind of like the path that I have, so I'm going to just go through and edit the cameras and make sure they're looking at what I want. Starting at frame 1, and then go through. This one I'm going to be kind of looking at the television here. And then when I get over here, then I think I'm going to look at the door, or kind of over this way for this one. And then when I get outside, I want to look back at my utility shed. Make sure I'm looking at it the whole time. Okay, and then again, double click to get into your utility shed. And you want to drag it down and to the left and right. Okay, not too far, and try to make sure you're dragging the left and right the same. And again, the white box, make it realistic. And then we'll go to slide 1 and take a look at what another good example of a walkthrough looks like. But this time I'm going to be walking through the house 2 times. Okay, so first time kind of looking at the TV. Okay, so you notice how I clicked a lot on the inside and it went really fast. One of the things we can do when we have that problem is go to our frame settings, and instead of a total of 300 frames, we can put in 600 frames. Now what that's going to do is it's going to slow down everything, the inside and the outside. So instead, what we can do is change the uniform speed. And if you know what keyframe you're at, so you're going to have to kind of figure out what keyframe is where, you can turn the accelerator down to 0.5. Okay, so let's take a look and see what keyframe do I want to be at. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So kind of 2 through 9 are going to be on the inside. So we'll say 2 through 9. Give them a 0.5 speed. And what this is going to do is it's going to slow it down on the inside. And so I should be spending more time on the inside as we go through. Okay, now you'll see I get to the inside and it's going a lot slower than it was the first time. Looks like one of my points got messed up, but other than that, looks pretty good. Okay, so that's kind of the basics of the tools. I've done about 11 minutes of talking, so it's about time to stop now. If you have any questions, go back and re-watch some of the good or bad examples. Again, all of the tools are here in the active camera, your walkthrough, and when you're done with your walkthrough, they will be here in your walkthroughs in your view window. Okay, good luck, wish you the best, and look forward to seeing your walkthroughs.